Welcome to Uniquely Jasmine with Jasmine. I created this YouTube channel because the last 9 years I have been going through a journey of spiritual growth and healing. One of the things that I have been dealing with is fibroids. For the last 8 years, I have been struggling with fibroids. 2012, I found out that I had fibroids. I was laying in the bed and I was having a lot of pain that day. And I was laying in the bed and I saw a lump and I was like, what is this? And it kind of freaked me out a little bit. So I called the doctor and I scheduled an appointment and I went in and they told me that it was fibroids. So during that appointment, she was like, we need to remove this. So we need to schedule your surgery and so you can get a myomectomy. So I was like, okay. So that's not gonna mess up anything, or I'll still be able to have kids. And she was like, yeah. So I was like, okay. So I had the myomectomy, and after I had the myomectomy, I was in the hospital and she told me that there was 3 fibroids that were removed and the pieces that were left looked abnormal. So they wanted to send some of the pieces like off of that, send it in to make sure that it wasn't cancer. So I was a little kind of distraught at this point, because I'm like, I don't wanna hear any bad news, and it was a little nerve-wracking, but he came back negative, thank God. And after that, once I got out of the hospital, I had my appointment after the surgery. It's like 6 or maybe a little more than 6 weeks later. And when I went to the doctor, they did an ultrasound, and the little piece that was in there was the size of a quarter. So it had grown that much since my surgery. So they were like, we need to send you to a specialist. And so we need to send you to a specialist so that you can see, they can take care of it, they can watch it. So I was sent to a specialist. I was going every 6 weeks to see a specialist, and it was draining. It was draining because it was like a short appointment where I would go see the specialist. He would do an ultrasound, and he would tell me, like one of the doctors, he was like, it's going to grow. And I'm just like, but can you do something to help? Something. So it was just really draining. So fast forward to 2017, I went back to the doctor, and I went to a different doctor because I took about a year off because I was just completely drained from going to the doctor. So I'm just like, they keep telling me the same thing, so I'm just gonna stop for a while. So I stopped for a while and I went to a different doctor, and by this time the fibroid was bigger, and the doctor was like, we need to do a hysterectomy. It's big, it's gonna end, the type of fibroid it is, it grows fast, so it's gonna end up growing into your chest cavity. So I'm like, no, growing into my chest cavity is scary, but at the same time, no, I don't want to have a hysterectomy, plain and simple. And so I was still going back to him, and during that time I was researching to find ways that could help me to get rid of it. And I saw a lot of people saying a vegan diet helped, and stop eating sugar and all of that. And so I was like, okay. So I did it, but God wasn't in it when I did it. I wasn't even focused on God. I wasn't even reading my Bible. I wasn't even praying. I was just focusing on what I was eating. I was focusing on not eating the wrong thing, not eating anything that would make it grow. And that's where my mind was, and it started to make me afraid of food. I started being afraid of food. I started I lost 10 pounds, and for me, losing 10 pounds, nah, it looked bad. My family was like, Jasmine, you need to eat. And so I was like, it took me a minute to get to the point where I was eating more again, but I realized that I needed to eat. So I started back eating a regular diet. So I was continuing to pray. I started praying again, and I was praying and fasting, just praying and fasting, like, Lord, I want to be healed from this. And it wasn't until the pandemic, I was sitting on the couch and I bent over to get the remote off of the table, and I felt my rib touch the fibroid, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I just freaked out, and I called my mama and I was telling her what happened, and she was like, pray. And so I was like, all right. I was praying, and I was like, Lord, help me, because this is scaring me a little bit. And I was praying, and then I was told about some supplements that were good for fibroids. So I decided to order those and to take those. And they helped a lot. Like, I'm still going through it because it recently started, but there's some things that I had to change in my life so that I can go on this journey of being healed. And one of those things is a mindset change. I had to change the way I was thinking. I was praying for God to heal me, but during the times when I would be in pain, because there was a lot of times when I would be really hurting, and like just going to work, I would have to take a leave. I would have to take something just to get through the day. I would be tired all the time. I didn't want to do anything really because I was just drained. And because my iron was low, that was one of the things. My iron was low. So I was just tired all the time, and I didn't want to do anything. And the constant going to the bathroom. As soon as it was like my bladder was full all the time. Like I would use the bathroom before I would leave. And then by the time I would get there, my bladder would be full and ready to, So it was just like a lot of little things. And instead of thinking about it negatively and focusing on those things, I tried to focus my attention on something else. I had to focus my attention on, okay, I'm feeling this way right now, but I know that God is healing my body. I know that He's going to heal my body, and that I'm going to get better. You have to remind yourself, because of the way I used to think was I used to feel that pain, and then when I would feel that pain, I would just sink into that pain, basically. Like my emotions, everything, I would just be done for the rest of the day because I'm just like, I'm in so much pain. What do I do about it? Because the size of the fibroid now is the size of a cantaloupe. That's basically the size that it is. Like it's above my belly button. Like it's big. So and like I had to like really change my mindset with that. And then also when people would ask me, are you pregnant? Congratulations. Like I literally got congratulated for expecting, and I'm not pregnant. And I was just like, those moments would get me down. Like literally last week I decided to wear some high-waisted jeans, and I had a shirt that covered, but it was you could see like a little bump. And I was like, somebody asked me, how far along are you? And I'm just like, man. But instead of letting it get me down, I'm just like, it's okay, because I know that God is healing me. I know that soon my stomach is going to be flat again. And those are some of the things that I had to change. Like instead of letting the situation get me down, I rise above it, and I'm just like, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing to get better, and I'm not going to let it get me down. And then another thing, eating better. I didn't go on a vegan diet. I'm not vegan, but I don't eat a whole lot of meat. I still have it in my diet. I still eat it, but I don't eat a whole lot of it. I eat a lot of vegetables. I basically eat or all organic. If it's organic, I'm gonna eat it. So So anything organic I eat. I eat meat. I don't eat sweets. I'm still struggling with eating greasy foods because that's like something that I absolutely love, but I'm trying my hardest to avoid those things as much as possible. I don't buy it, and I've started cooking so that instead of going out to Chick-fil-A, I can just have food at home, and then even bringing food with me to work, so I don't eat what we have at my job. I can just eat what I have. And sometimes it's hard. Like one time I was just like, I don't want what I made. I want something to eat from Chick-fil-A or another restaurant. So I just was like, you know what? I'm just not going to eat anything at all today. Well, not today, for my lunch break. So I just didn't eat anything because I was like, I'm not going to go to the restaurant and I don't want my food, but I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I eat something that I know that I shouldn't eat. So I just sat in the car and chilled. So, and another thing is exercising. I don't really exercise. Like, I'm trying to get better with it, and that's one of the things that I'm struggling with, but I'm working on it. And being consistent, that's one of the things too. Just being consistent with eating better, exercising, like all the things that I need to do, because faith without works is dead. So I could be praying to God for my healing, but I'm still eating all the wrong things. I'm still doing all the wrong things, eating sugar, just stuff that's not going to help my body, that's not going to decrease my hormone level, things like that. And then, like, most importantly, praying and fasting. Like, I've definitely been praying and fasting to, during this time, because I've been on, I was out of work for 4 months. So during that time, I had a lot of time to just be alone with God, to talk to Him, to pray, to like really dive deep into, just having a closer relationship with him. So that's what I was doing during that time, and it really helped me. It really changed my perspective on things. It changed my attitude, definitely, towards the way I was thinking about like this situation, because it's still like I'm going through the process of healing. It's still happening, and I'll show you pictures of how my stomach looked before I started and now how it looks now. It's like a complete like difference, and it's amazing, and I thank God for it because I know it's all Him. And so I'm just thankful for it, and I'm just continuing to believe that it's going to be completely gone soon. And so if there's anybody on here that is struggling with something, if you are dealing with something in your body, if you're dealing with a situation in your life, I just encourage you to just pray and seek God about it. And not only that, just to trust Him in your situation. And that's what I had to do. I had to trust Him in my situation and just believe that He was going to take care of everything. And the thing about it is sometimes we get discouraged about what's currently happening in our lives, or what's currently happening. Like, I feel the pain right now, so it's still there. But it's still there, but you still got to have faith that God's going to believe you. God's going to save or heal you. So I just want to encourage you to keep your head up and keep moving, keep going, keep believing, keep trusting in God. And if you are encouraged by this video, like and subscribe, and so that we can grow in fashion, lifestyle, and everything in between. God bless.